Most people think White Room is just a moody classic, but it was actually recorded while the band was in the middle of a full-on meltdown, and nobody involved thought it would even be released. By 1968, Cream, Eric Clapton, Ginger Baker, and Jack Bruce couldn't stand each other. Baker and Bruce had been at war since before the band even started. Clapton was stuck in the middle, completely burned out, and had already quietly told people he wanted out. But they had one more album to deliver, so they went into the studio barely speaking and somehow recorded Wheels of Fire. White Room came from a poem written by Pete Brown, Jack Bruce's songwriting partner. The title itself referred to a real place, a flat they'd lived in, painted completely white with no furniture, a blank, cold, empty space. And that's exactly what Cream had become by the time they recorded it. Ginger Baker showed up to sessions itching for a fight. Jack Bruce would rewrite arrangements without telling anyone. Clapton started disappearing, literally, skipping rehearsals, ducking calls. Producer Felix Pappalardi was basically a referee. At one point, Baker reportedly threw drumsticks across the room, mid-take. At another, Bruce rewrote the bass line overnight, and nobody found out until they pressed play. They were falling apart in real time, and somehow, what came out of that chaos was one of the most perfect-sounding recordings of the entire decade. That wah-wah guitar intro, Clapton nailed it in basically one take. The string arrangement, Pappalardi wrote it as a kind of peace offering, a way to give the song something bigger than the tension in the room. And Jack Bruce's vocal, that haunted, almost desperate delivery, wasn't acting. He was singing about emptiness because he was living it. They released Wheels of Fire in August 1968. White Room hit radio, and people lost their minds over it. By October, Cream announced they were breaking up. They played their farewell concert that November. White Room was in the set list. Three musicians who couldn't be in the same room together made a song literally called White Room, and it outlived all the bitterness. That's the wild thing about great music. Sometimes the cracks are exactly what the light gets through. If you didn't know that story before today, now you do. And I'd bet there's someone in your life who calls themselves a Cream fan who has no idea. Drop this on them. If you want more stories like this, the ones that didn't make it into the documentaries, subscribe to Groovy Tunes with Del and hit the bell. I've got a deep pile of these, and I'm not stopping anytime soon.